Why, hello there. Bet you guys thought it was going to be some kind of a jump cut video, right? No, I'm sorry. Sorry to disappoint you guys, but it's not going to be a jump cut video. This is kind of like an ad hoc video in the sense that, well, if you guys saw my Q&A answer video, I told you guys that I had something very interesting to share with you, and I have the first part here, the first part. So, no jump cuts because this is like, it's the first time I'm actually doing this, and in my hands here is a already partly modified and minimized Buzz B Big Blast. Those of you actually familiar with the Big Blast, the usual mods are chop and coupler. So the pump has been plugged. I can go up to about 9. I don't want to go to 10 because I don't want to burst the tank. 7, 8, 9. Okay, so that's a pretty loud Big Blast. Get the pun. But anyway, this is the interesting thing. It has this special piece over here. It's an aluminium Buzz B Big Blast trigger, and just to let you guys know, this is actually a first generation Buzz B Big Blast, and it was actually sent in to me by a fellow Singaporean nerfer called Zinv, and he's actually, if I'm not wrong, the guy in charge of fabricating aluminium or custom aluminium parts for your Nerf blasters. When I started back in 2010, when I got my Recon, I believe that Zinv, that he might be the first person to fabricate a Recon plunger in aluminium, and he actually sold it, and he actually taught people how to actually use that same Recon plunger to fit the other inverse plunger system blasters or the N-Strike series. But I guess we wouldn't really need these reverse plungers or inverse plungers anymore because the elite line blasters feature direct plungers. So I don't know if you heard that, but yeah, anyway. So yeah, if you guys are actually interested and you know what a first gen Buzz B Big Blast is, sorry my tongue, you know that you actually need an aluminium trigger. And I mean, if you plug the pump and you want to go for max ranges, so yeah, just want to show you guys that this trigger is pretty good. I have here just a crappily not really crappily, I actually made this for a Brithawk, but I'm just going to use this as a barrel material that is not the correct barrel length, just to demonstrate to you guys. Big Blast on 4 pump. There we go, see how powerful it is. Whoa. Alright, I guess you couldn't see that on camera. So anyway, those of you who don't know the power of Big Blast, here we go. So I'm gonna crack this thing open and show the trigger to you guys in detail. Alright, so catch you in the next part. Hey, what's up guys? So as you can tell here, I have the Buzz B Big Blast, and would like to stress again that this is the first gen Buzz B Big Blast with the first gen tank in it and the first gen type of trigger. But this, as you can tell, has been already replaced with the aluminium trigger. And once I open this up, you actually see why there is a need or demand to have a stronger trigger than the stock trigger, right? And I mean, before we open it up, I just want to say again that it's really smooth. It doesn't cut, it doesn't scratch your fingers. I could just do this over and over again all day and it wouldn't hurt. It's not a problem doing this also. It's just really smooth, and you can tell no scratch marks, and my finger's not red or anything. So this is really good, and by the markings, one can tell that this has been CNC milled very nicely out of a block of aluminium, and it's a solid piece, right? Much like the Longshot internals. I'm going to open it up now. The screws have been already taken out, and I'm going to open up the Big Blast. And there we have it. So this is the internals of a Buzz B Big Blast first generation. For those of you guys that have never seen a first gen internals of a Buzz B Big Blast, or you've only seen the Lego Atlantis Harpoon Blaster, this part is relatively smaller. So the first generation has a bigger tank, but it has a weaker trigger. And for the second gen, it has a small tank, but it has that lever thing. So they actually have a little plastic piece hooked on here, and when you pull it back, it actually engages the lever or the lever and pulls the pin instead. So as you can see, it's a solid piece, solid trigger. I'm going to try and remove it now. That's a pretty beefy return spring, and I'm going to just try and I don't know how this is done, but I'm going to try and ease this one out. let's see how it's supposed to be removed. And I almost got it out. Oh, okay. That was simple enough. That was silly of me. I was afraid I might screw some of the glue up here, but I guess it's just loose. Yeah, I was afraid for no reason. So anyway, here is the trigger I present to you. Zinv's Aluminium BBBB Big Blast, first generation Big Blast aluminum trigger. As you can see, it's a full solid one piece CNC mill aluminum trigger. And this thing over here is so thick, it's gonna be so crazy sturdy, like that. Won't break. I'm stressing my thumb out. You can see the imprints on my thumb right now from the amount of force I actually used to press against that. Anyway, yeah, so basically what happens is you know, this part actually engages the pin on the tank and it pulls backwards. So the thing is, the higher the pressure, the higher the air pressure in the tank, the harder it is for you to pull the pin. I'm pretty sure you guys already know that by now. But the thing is, the stock trigger was made of plastic and there was a weak part over here, much like a bolt sled. So this, in a sense, you could view this something like somewhat like a long shot bolt sled, where the weakest point is right here. So once the pressure is so high, it takes a lot of force to pull and compress the air in the tank even more, just so you can pull the pin back for the air to release out. And that results, that normally results in a broken trigger, especially when people plug their pumps and try and get a max air pressure inside the air tank. And this problem is solved by creating a completely aluminum single piece, very nicely milled out aluminum trigger, and I think this is a really good job done. Please take note that those of you guys who are interested in getting this one, this only works in the old generation 1 first gen BBBB Big Blast, so don't get it. If you guys are running a Lego Atlantis Harpoon Blaster, the black and red ones, or if you're using a newer generation Big Blast, please do not get this trigger. It would not fit. Alright, so that's something for you guys to take note. Okay, so I'm just gonna quickly show you how to install it. It's very simple. You just slot this in around the pin over here, so you see the pin right there. So this is the pin that pulls back. So all you do is just slide it in, and there you have it on now. So that's it. It's hooked on very nicely. Right, let's see if we can get the camera angle. Yep, so you can see it's engaging the pin, and you just slide everything back into place, including the trigger, and you get your trigger return spring, and you put it on like so, and there we have it. And everything working perfectly fine right now. So yeah, I'm gonna close up this blaster and see you guys in the main video. And welcome back. So this Big Blast was not modified by me. I don't own a first gen Big Blast, so please take note, this is a first gen Big Blast, and what you saw in the video was the first time of me actually opening up the Big Blast. So I apologize for my screw up. I thought that he actually glued the tank and the coupler down, but I didn't know that it could actually be removed. So the trigger is a very simple drop-in kit, drop-in item. You just remove the old trigger and just drop in a new one. So those of you who have broken triggers from your old Big Blasts, you might want to consider getting these. Now Zinv has informed me that he still has a few of these on sale, and if you guys are actually interested to watch more videos based on this, he actually released these triggers. I don't know if this is the first or second batch, but these are really comfortable, and you can actually check out video reviews by Atani and by SG Nerf back then when he actually first released it, when Big Blasts were, I would say, more accessible, easier to obtain or buy off the shelves. But if you guys want Big Blast, first gen Big Blast now, you can actually check out certain online shops like Amazon. So anyway, those of you who have the newer Big Blasts in the yellow and black color, or the Lego Atlantis Harpoon Blaster, please, you can skip this item. Those of you who have access to these, These actually have a higher tank volume because of the air tank, the size in air tank, the difference in size of air tank. So yeah, if you guys are interested in getting these, please go contact Zinv. That is Z-I-N-V, or in American alphabetical pronunciation, Z-I-N-V, and please check him out at his email. Send him an email or something like that, kcw42@hotmail.com. Alright, so this is just the first part of what I want to show you. Stay tuned for the second item, or the second enticing thing that I want to show you guys. Alright, thanks for watching guys. Peace.